Hey guys, this is Undercover Dudes all the way from Down Under, and here is 10 must-know Fortnite Battle Royale tips and tricks. If you haven't played Fortnite Battle Royale before, make sure to go and use my link in the description below to go and download it. It helps the channel a ton. My number 10 tip is use the water while dropping into Greasy Grove. Greasy Grove is the only big city in Fortnite Battle Royale where you can go and use the water to your advantage while dropping. Generally, everyone knows not to go near big mountains or trees while dropping, as this means your glider will be deployed earlier, but we can take that knowledge and use it to get even lower than normal. If the battle bus is starting right at Greasy Grove, you can jump out the very start and dive straight towards the water. Your glider will go and deploy after everybody else's, and that means you'll be lower, so when you glide to a house, you can go and grab the weapon first and take down the enemies. My number 9 tip is, take less damage while sliding down mountains. Sliding down mountains is really dangerous in Fortnite Battle Royale. You might slide down a small mountain and take 40 damage, or slide down a mountain that is double the size and only take 10. Now this is because the damage depends on how fast you're going when you're sliding down. So by walking towards the mountain while you go and slide, you'll slow down just a bit. Now obviously, if you're going to be going down really big mountains, you still have to go and build some platforms, but if you're just going down a small drop, make sure to go and do this so you don't take any extra damage. Number 8, don't stop moving. Not moving in Fortnite Battle Royale is basically a death sentence, as it's almost guaranteed somebody will be scoping you out with a bolt action sniper rifle. Even if you're waiting for the circle, keep moving. If you're in scope, keep moving, and overall you have a much better chance against the opposition. Now since that was quite a quick tip, here is another that is completely unrelated. Do you guys know the wooden pallets that you just walk past and think, oh, I'd rather go and destroy a house or a tree? No, take a step back, go back to that wooden pallet and take it as your own, because it gives so much wood for such a little amount of time in order to go and knock it down, so make sure to go and farm those when you have the chance. My number 7 tip is, go and search really keenly to find more ammo. With the amount of ammo that you get from weapon spawns being significantly less than before, you need to go and find other ways to find ammo. The way to do this is staring you right in the face, but you have to go and look for it. And yes, I'm talking about the ammo boxes. Look under the stairs, on the metal shelves, on the floor. Ammo boxes are everywhere, and across the game, the amount of ammo you get from them really adds up. It's a super simple tip, but it will 100% help you when you need to spray down a structure or two, and therefore you have ammo to spare to kill off the enemies. My number 6 tip is, learn how to farm smartly. Now this is a two-parter, with the first part being something that most people know right now, and that's hit the blue circle. It does double damage to any object you're trying to go and destroy, and it will take those pesky caravans from 12 hits to 6 hits. But with that said, how do you go and hit that circle every single time? Well, if you're 100% sure nobody's going to shoot you in the back, aim at the tire of any vehicle and crouch, and more than likely that blue circle won't be going anywhere. Now obviously this is a kind of dangerous tactic in solos, but if you have a few friends, go into squads and they can go and back you up, and if you really need to go and destroy a whole city really quickly before the circle comes in, this is the tactic to go and do. My number 5 tip is really simple, use rooftops. Everybody wants to be Dakotas or Ninja, but playing hyper aggressive every game will more than likely make you lose more games than win. My tip is to go and use the roofs of houses as cover. The vertical advantage you get from them is insane, and firing down onto somebody is infinitely easier than shooting up, as the roof provides massive cover. My number 4 tip is, grab every weapon in the early game. When most people first drop into the attic of a house and get an assault rifle or shotgun, they often leave the pistols and the submachine guns that are in the rest of the house behind, because those weapons aren't as powerful. But with that said, if you have inventory space, it's a good idea to go and take them, especially if you go into a massive firefight a little bit later, you'll need that ammo. But also, taking every weapon goes and ensures that no other enemies can get them as well. If you run away from a house and go to the next one, and an enemy grabs the pistol you forgot on the floor, they could potentially chase and kill you from behind, and with that said, you're probably trying to kill somebody in front of you, you're gonna get pincered, and that is really dangerous. With the amount of people that don't know how to go and drop into a city quickly, this happens more than you think, so make sure to go and keep a keen eye out. My number 3 tip is, Console players can get a very big advantage with a really easy change. Now this is a bit of a grey area tip, but this list is meant to give you the advantage over everybody else. On the console versions of Fortnite Battle Royale, you can plug in a USB mouse and keyboard and it will work perfectly, exactly the same as if you were playing on PC with full remappable keys. Now personally, I'm a terrible player on the console, and generally it's more difficult to go and aim, so this is a major advantage. But I personally would never go and do it, because if I wanted to go and use a mouse and keyboard, I would simply play on the PC. It seems like Epic Games is okay with this, since nobody has really complained. I don't think they're going to go and patch it out, but maybe because it really isn't that well known, maybe they accidentally left it in, we'll have to go and see in the future. Anyways, at the time of writing, this possibility is still a-okay to go and use, and if there's any updates in the future, I'll make sure to go and change the description of this video. My number 2 tip is easily increase your FPS with a simple check. Moving to a tip for the PC guys like me, this tip will dramatically increase the FPS that you're playing at. Go to your settings like right now and check if your game is in windowed full screen or windowed. If so, change it to full screen. Yes, alt-tabbing to go and check Facebook won't be instant, but with your PC completely focusing on Fortnite Battle Royale instead of your desktop and any other applications, you'll be running the game much more smoothly, which is super important to having a great experience. So with a tip for the PC players and a tip for the console players, tell me in the comments section below what system you play on, be it the PS4, Xbox One, or the PC. It will be super interesting to go and see who wins, so make sure to go and let everybody know. As we're nearing towards the end of the video, I've got a few extra tips that I think you guys would really want to know about. The first one is how to make yourself harder to be hit. In close range combat, a lot of people just spam jump, which is a decent tactic, but it means you can sometimes miss a few shots. The one thing I suggest is go and incorporate a little bit of crouch spamming into your combat. If things get a little bit hairy, spam that crouch button to go and confuse your enemy. And even against the best players, this little crouch spam technique may mean they miss a shot or two, and that means you can get the upper hand in the battle. This next tactic I really don't advise for 99.9% of gameplay, but with that said, it can be used if you're in a really bad situation. If nobody in your squad has med kits or bandages or armor, then maybe this can be of use. If a person has like less than 30 HP, 10, 20 HP, kill that person, team kill that person, and then revive him, and that person will be up to 30 HP, because whenever you revive somebody, you automatically go and get 30 HP. I found this out once because I accidentally team killed one of my friends that had 10 HP and I just blasted him away with a pump action shotgun. Then I revived him and he's back to 30 HP, and I'm like, maybe that can be useful in some situations. But with that said, it is a really dangerous thing to go and do, and more than likely it's going to go and get you killed if other people hear what you're doing. Here's my last little kind of cheap trick that can go and win you games, and I found it out because I hopped on Oceanic server at like 10 o'clock in the morning, right? 10 o'clock, really early on a weekday, so everybody was still at school. So I hopped on and I was realizing that, man, okay, these lobbies aren't really full. Only 60 people were connecting. The game was starting without a full lobby. So if you go onto a server that really isn't that populated, or if you go onto a server at really late at night or really early in the morning, there might be a possibility where a full room can't be filled. And that means obviously there is more potential for you to win the game, as you don't have to kill as many people. Now this is really boring. Please note, a really boring way to go and win a game. But if you want to go and grind out those wins, hop on early to any server and maybe you might go and find a game that isn't full. I also have something that isn't a tip, but something that might be able to go and expand your horizons. Now personally, I play either solos or I play with 2 other people with Phil turned off in squads. But for some reason, somebody left Phil turned on, and we played a game with the 4th, and overall, the match was really interesting because the way this player played was completely different to the way the rest of my mates played, and so we learned a few tricks along the way. So it's not me teaching you a trick in this video, it's more like the people in the game can go and teach you stuff if you have Phil turned on. But with that said, if you're talking to your friends on TeamSpeak or Discord, make sure to go and use, push the talk in game so you can keep the guy informed about what you're trying to go and do, what your tactics are, and what your objectives are. My number 2 tip and my number 1 tip are kind of like a combo package, and it all revolves around crouching. Now for this one, my number 1 tip is how to not get shot while medkitting or using potions. Now this is something that I've been doing from the very start of playing Fortnite Battle Royale, but it's amazing how it's not really that known. While you're using your bandages or using potions, you can easily be shot if there isn't any cover. So the next best thing is to go and spam your crouch button and slightly move left and right so it's more difficult for people to hit you. The amount of times somebody's lined up a sniper shot for my head, and by crouch spamming they only hit my chest, and because I had armor, that gave me an opportunity to heal up and get right back into the battle. The hitboxes are really weird in Fortnite Battle Royale, so any opportunity to go and exploit them should be used. So with all of that said, that's the list. How to go and get better at Fortnite Battle Royale. Tips and tricks you need to go and know. Here is 10 plus 3 or 4 with the extra ones, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to go and hit that like button, and also comment in the comment section below if any of these tips helped you. If you haven't played Fortnite Battle Royale before, make sure to go and download it with my link in the description below, or if you're a console player and want to go and play on PC, the link in the description below will definitely help you out and helps me out as well. But other than that, it's Undercover Dudes all the way from down under, out.